The women's elimination chamber is almost here, but unlike the men's chamber, there doesn't seem to be any obvious contender to win the match and challenge Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. There's a lot of main event talent in the match, but it doesn't look like WWE has set up any major feuds for Rhea Ripley leading into Mania, or so we think. So with that being said, let's break down and predict how the women's elimination chamber match is going to go. What's the order of eliminations gonna be, who's gonna win the match, and what other WrestleMania stories is it gonna set up? I'm Brandon, and this is Wrestling Talk. So at the time of this recording, 5 of the 6 competitors have already qualified for the chamber. Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, and Bayley. And I think it's safe to assume that Roxanne Perez will be the final entrant in the match. I don't see it being Raquel. So looking at those 6 participants, let's break down how this match is gonna go, based on where all the current storylines are, and also where I think they're gonna go leading into Mania. To start off the match, I think it's gonna be Liv Morgan and Bayley. They're both big stars, and they're probably going to have a bit of a mini match before the first entrant comes out of their pod. Then I think you're going to have Naomi coming out 3rd, Roxanne coming out 4th, Bianca coming out 5th, and Alexa Bliss coming out last. It just seems like a no-brainer that we're gonna save her till the end. But once all 6 participants have entered, there are 2 names that I think immediately cancel each other out: Bayley and Roxanne Perez. The 2 of them have been feuding for a while now, and I just think they're gonna cancel each other out. It didn't really happen at the Royal Rumble, but I think it's gonna happen here. And I actually think Bayley is going to be the first person eliminated by Roxanne. Once that happens, I think Naomi is next to get eliminated, probably by Alexa Bliss or Liv Morgan. One crazy idea is that Jade Cargill enters the match just like AJ Styles did last year and utterly destroys Naomi, allowing someone else to pin her. I could see that, but just to be safe, I'm gonna say that Jade Cargill does not get involved in this match. I think they're gonna save her return for an episode of Raw or SmackDown, but whether it's due to Jade interfering or not, I think Naomi's gonna get eliminated next, and then I think Roxanne's gonna get pinned by Bianca. When it comes to Bayley, Roxanne, and Naomi, none of them are real contenders to win this match, so it doesn't really matter how they get eliminated, as long as we get to the final 3 of Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair. These are your 3 that could possibly win. And honestly, the first name I have to cross out is Bianca Belair. There have been rumors going around that this is the year that WWE finally wants to do Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania. And I don't think this is going to happen. Mainly because I think Bianca is going to be doing something with Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. It just seems obvious. Yes, they have teased Rhea versus Bianca a few times over the years, but it was never anything very substantial. However, they have been teasing Bianca doing something with Jade and or Naomi for months now. I still don't know who attacked Jade. It was either Naomi and Bianca, or just Bianca. It's one of those 3 options. So I don't know what exactly the Mania match is gonna be, but all 3 women are going to be doing something together. So because of that, I don't think Bianca is gonna win. And to top it off, personally, I don't want Bianca to win, because Rhea versus Bianca is a match that needs to main event WrestleMania. It's that big. Rhea and Bianca are 2 of the biggest stars in the company. And if this match happens now, it's only gonna feel rushed, because again, they haven't done anything of substance to build this feud up. Bianca is, for all intents and purposes, a tag team wrestler. She has been for the past year. And Rhea Ripley has been doing her own thing on Raw, so it just doesn't really make sense. And for a match this big, I would like the build to be a bit more than 2 months. So from a story perspective, I don't think it's gonna happen, but then from a personal perspective, I don't want it to happen either. So I can see Alexa and Liv actually teaming up to take down Bianca, or maybe Jade Cargill interferes and takes out Bianca too. And then we get to the final 2, Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan. Now, which of these 2 is going to win? Here's my answer. If Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky had not been announced to take place on the Raw after Elimination Chamber, I would honestly say Alexa Bliss, because Rhea Ripley versus Alexa Bliss is a bigger match than another rematch of Rhea versus Liv. If you're just talking about the marquee of it, Rhea and Alexa is a big deal. It could happen at WrestleMania. But Rhea versus Io is happening on the Raw after Elimination Chamber. And once that was announced, it became very clear to me that Liv Morgan is going to win the Elimination Chamber. And here's why. WWE has done basically nothing to set up the fact that Alexa Bliss may want to challenge Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Obviously, all wrestlers want titles, so they could keep it just that simple. Alexa wants the title, Rhea has the title, there's your match. But you'd think that they would at least have like a promo segment or something something between the two of them leading into this match, just to set up the possibility that we might get Rhea versus Alexa and put those feelers out there to see what the audience thinks. The men's division does that all the time. So because they have done nothing to set that up, similar to Rhea versus Bianca, it just makes me think it's not in the cards. The only story they've been telling with Alexa Bliss is that the Wyatt Six are apparently watching her, so I assume her WrestleMania plans are going to have something to do with the Wyatt Six. And then you look at Liv Morgan, and more specifically, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Io Sky. These three women have been circling the women's world title for the past few months. Liv held the title for most of 2024, and we got that forever feud between her and Rhea. But keep in mind, before Rhea took the title from Liv, we got Liv versus Io at Saturday night's main event. And then even on the episode of Raw when Io Sky lost her qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber, it was against Liv Morgan. It seems clear to me now that this is the story that WWE has been setting up for Rhea Ripley, which is why I think Liv Morgan is going to win the Elimination Chamber, and then on Monday Night Raw, cost Io Sky the victory over Rhea Ripley. And the rationale for that is obviously going to be, I don't want Io to take the title off of Rhea, I want to take the title off of Rhea. And once that happens, the three of them are going to break out into a brawl. They'll probably be feuding for a few weeks, and at some point Adam Pearce is going to come out and say, we need to put an end to this madness, we're going to settle this at WrestleMania in a triple threat. Liv Morgan won the Elimination Chamber, so she's earned her right to face Rhea at WrestleMania, but Io Sky has been screwed over multiple times now, so I think Adam Pearce is going to say that she has also earned the right to face Rhea at WrestleMania. The more I think about it, this seems like the way they're going to go. And honestly, I love it, because when I look at the Rhea versus Liv feud, it was the defining feud for the women's division in 2024. And honestly, I think WWE always wanted that feud to end at WrestleMania. But for whatever reason, they just weren't able to keep that feud interesting. They tried their best by adding in all these little pit stops between their title matches, such as the tag match at Bash in Berlin, or the Women's War Games match, or Liv versus Io at Saturday night's main event. But I always thought that Rhea beating Liv at the Raw Netflix debut was an underwhelming way to end this feud, because at the end of the day it was just a TV match. And when you look at the work that Liv Morgan has done over the past year, she's clearly elevated herself to be a main event star. So her and Raquel just going after the tag titles at WrestleMania, or even Liv Morgan going after the women's IC title, just feels a little bit underwhelming. I was super hyped to see Rhea versus Io, but honestly, I think this triple threat idea might be better. By adding Liv into the mix, it just creates an awesome dynamic of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Io Sky is the Daniel Bryan-esque fan favorite who everyone is just totally behind. Liv Morgan is the absolutely despised heel who's getting all the boos. The fans don't even want her in the match. I'm sure a lot of you watching now hate that I'm saying that Liv Morgan should be in the match at Mania, but that's the point. And then you have Rhea Ripley, who's not necessarily all good or all bad. She's kind of the tweener. I just think it makes for an awesome dynamic and kind of serves everyone well. After being left off the WrestleMania 40 card, Liv Morgan finally gets a big WrestleMania moment. WWE is able to give the Rhea versus Liv feud that big blow-off match at WrestleMania, but with a twist. And then Io Sky gets involved, who again is clearly the fan favorite here. I think it's a great business decision. It gives all three women prominent spots on the WrestleMania card, and it just makes everything more interesting. But that's it. That's how I would book the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Liv Morgan wins the chamber to face Rhea Ripley and Io Sky in a triple threat at WrestleMania. Bianca and Naomi do something with Jade Cargill. Bayley and Roxanne Perez are probably going to do something with the women's IC title. I'm thinking that's going to be more of a ladder match now that it doesn't look like Becky Lynch is in the WrestleMania plans. And then Alexa Bliss can do something with the Wyatt Six, whatever that is. What do you think though? Is Liv Morgan winning the Elimination Chamber the right call? Or should it be Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, whoever? Whatever you think, comment below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.